My FPL Game Week 19 team selection. After a really horrific game week in Game Week 18, we are finally at the midway point in the season. Hopefully, we can begin to turn things around. It was just really terrible. But in this video, we're going to take a look at a couple of ideas, some transfer plans that can help us turn things around and get back into, green arrows, push us higher up on the ranks, moving into the latter part of the season. So we're going to take a look at some of these transfer ideas, my transfer plans, and also how my team fared in Game Week 18. What's up everyone, FPL.CARNAGE here. So let's dive right into it, right? In FPL Game Week 18, my team scored 33 points, one of the lowest tallies for me so far this season. And I was also on a point hit, that just makes it 29 points. Honestly, the team looked really great on paper, just didn't go as planned. Honestly, and if I had actually used my bench boost this week, I would have scored more points because my bench boost this week scored at least 15 points, which is almost double what my bench boost scored in game week 17. But in goal, I had Raya, who didn't keep a clean sheet in that game against Brighton, and Timber was also not in the squad, so Guehi came in for him and returned 2 points after the game against Tottenham. Honestly, I expected a tougher game in that matchup where he wasn't even able to return DEFCON, so it just raises an eyebrow on what the reliability of Palace defensive assets are right now. Also, I had Virgil van Dijk and O'Reilly in my defense, who returned 2 points and 1 point respectively. I just couldn't understand why Liverpool couldn't keep a clean sheet against Wolves, but they could keep a clean sheet against Brighton. You just never know when to expect these things from them. Forest, really good game from them in the tie against Manchester City. They made it really difficult for them. O'Reilly also unfortunately picked up a yellow card, so he returned just 1 point for me in my defense. Onto my midfield, Minte was brought in as a second half substitution, and unfortunately had a beautiful chance from him saved by Raya, so he returned just 1 point. Cunha with just 2 points could have easily gotten a decent haul in this game as well. He was the most, lively, creative spark for Manchester United in that Newcastle game, but unfortunately he wasn't able to get any attacking return or DEFCON, so he returned just 2 points and also picked up a yellow card, so he lost his clean sheet points. Wilson got the assist for Raul Jimenez in the game against West Ham. Unfortunately, he picked up a yellow card as well, so he returned just 5 points. Saka returning 7 points as well in that game against Brighton. He picked up an assist for Odegaard to help Arsenal get their first goal in the match. And Foden with another blank after 4 double-figure hauls in a row to return just 2 points in that game. Also could have easily gotten a goal. Saw his chance saved brilliantly by John Victor, the Nottingham Forest keeper. And up top, I had Thiago, who got an assist for Kevin Shad in the 4-1 thrashing against Bournemouth over the weekend, and Haaland, who was my captain, that returned 4 points. No goal, no assist in that game against Forest. Quite unlucky for him. He had about 3 shots on target, one of which could have easily been converted, but no attacking return, so he returned just 4 points as my captain. And on my bench, I had Dubravka, who returned a massive 11 points. Honestly, I just didn't see that one coming. I did think Everton was going to get a goal in that game against Burnley, but Burnley at home against the smaller sides tends to actually pose more difficulty, right? So I guess I should have expected that in a way. But yeah, he picked up a clean sheet, bonus points, save points, and returned 11 points. I also had Goodmanson and Krupi Jr., who returned 2 points and 1 point respectively. So this is what my team scored. A red arrow back to 2 million, and it's just really frustrating at this point, but hopefully we can begin to turn things around again and get back to green arrows, right? So in game week 19, this is how my team is set up. I'm still going with the double Arsenal defense, respective of the fact that I do not see them keeping a clean sheet in this game against Aston Villa. Aston Villa have been really good defensively. I have Raya in goal and Timber as my starting defender. I would be tempted to try out Dubravka against Newcastle, right, and bench Raya, but I just don't see. We didn't see any training photos of Timber yesterday, and we haven't really heard any positive news as to whether he's going to be available for this game. So I just don't know how I feel about benching all my Arsenal assets defensively, right? So I am currently still stuck on playing the double defensive Arsenal assets going into game week 19. I also have O'Reilly and Virgil van Dijk as my other two defenders. O'Reilly away at Sunderland and Virgil van Dijk at home to Leeds. Now, we know that Sunderland haven't lost a game at home yet this season, so I believe this is it's going to be a really, really difficult tie. I do believe Sunderland also get a goal in this game. They were unfortunately not to score in the home tie against Manchester City a couple of weeks back, but I think this would be a tougher game. It's still not a game where Man City couldn't come away with a clean sheet, but just because of their good record at home, it's not going to be as easy. I think they will pose a lot of threats, just how we saw Forest pose some threats to City in game week 18, and I think it's going to be an edgy tie. Virgil van Dijk, I just don't know what to expect. Leeds have been on good form. They've scored in their last 5 games in a row. I don't know that Liverpool will keep a clean sheet in this game. I'm just hoping for the DEFCON points from Van Dijk at this point and any possible attacking return. In my midfield, I have Foden away at Sunderland. Hopefully he gets back to goal scoring form in this game. Saka at home to Aston Villa. He has a good record against them. I think he got the assist for their one goal when they lost 2-1 a couple weeks back against Aston Villa. And I have Cunha at home to Wolves. We've seen every single talisman hit double figure returns when faced against Wolves. They are currently sitting at the bottom of the Premier League table, have the most shots conceded, most expected goals conceded as well. So I just think Cunha is a really brilliant option if you're looking at a possible transfer in as well this week. He's also a really great choice for captaincy in my opinion if you're looking to go a differential route. He's a really good choice defensively. Wilson away at Crystal Palace. He has returned in his last. I think he has returned 3 in his last 4. Failing to return just in the game against. I think that was. Yeah, I think the game against Brighton or so was the only game where he failed to return, or Forest rather actually. And then Minte as my last midfielder. He did get the rest and came in second half in the game against Arsenal, so I believe he will get the start away at West Ham this weekend. We haven't really seen any goal involvements come from him in the past 4 weeks. Hopefully this changes because his fixture run from here on looks a bit nice. So I'm going to be starting him as my 5th midfielder. Up top I have Haaland away at Sunderland. He didn't get any goal return, but with their players away at AFCON, Ballard possibly going to miss this game. I think Haaland should get a goal return in this game against Sunderland. Yeah, I think he should get a goal return, and I'm leaving my captain armband on him at the moment. And I have Thiago as well at home to Tottenham. Tottenham haven't been the best so far this season when it comes to attacking returns or defensive stability, but I just think with the way it's set up at the moment, I think Thiago should be able to get something. It was just unfortunate that he couldn't get more than an assist in that game against Bournemouth over the weekend. He could have easily had 2 assists or a goal and assist, but hopefully he does get something. And on my bench, I have Dubravka, who is at home to Newcastle, Guehi at home to Fulham, Goodmanson away at Liverpool, and Krupi Jr. away at Chelsea. Now, a couple of my transfer plans. I really want to bring in Ekitike or Verts. I did say in my last video that I think Verts' goal returns are coming, and he got a goal against Wolves. Now, this could have just unlocked the floodgates for him to many more potential double-figure hauls, right? And Liverpool's fixtures do say and imply that those could be coming, right? So I don't see why not going the Verts route. It just leaves me with the question of, do I want to sell Saka yet? His fixtures aren't the best, but I do think I would like to attack the Liverpool fixtures. And if I do decide to go that way, I may just decide to downgrade him to the likes of a Newcastle assets to attack their fixtures and possibly upgrade Thiago to Ekitike. Or I could go Saka to Verts and possibly bring in a Newcastle defender, right? So I'm currently stuck on these 2 transfer options, right? I could go Verts and a Newcastle defender, or I could go a Newcastle midfielder like Gordon or Barnes I think Barnes may be a really great differential pick, seeing as Gordon started their game against Man U. It's a midweek game, a great chance to give him a start. So I think Barnes may be a good choice. Kevin Shad also, coming off the back of a hat-trick, really brilliant hat-trick at that, and Ekitike up top. Or I could just decide to roll my transfer and look at what other possible targets I can make out in game week 20. So this is the structures I'm currently looking at. But my captaincy remains on Erling Haaland. My vice is on Matheus Cunha. I do know I'm going to bring in a Liverpool attacker. I'm just not settled on which one yet. So this is what my team looks like. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section, and I'll get back to them as soon as I can. And I'll see you guys in the next FPL video.